Hello, my name is Richard Tomczyk, and the title of this presentation is Evaluating Library Web Application Security. As all librarians know, patron privacy has long been one of the most important principles of the library profession. In a library, protecting privacy is about securing the confidentiality of personally identifiable information about library patrons. The American Library Association regards privacy not only as a professional principle, but as essential to intellectual freedom and constitutional rights. Information technology has had a significant impact on patron privacy. The use of PII in libraries particularly has expanded as libraries make increasing use of IT solutions. However, despite their best efforts, librarians have not been able to keep pace with technology adoption in regards to patron privacy. Cloud computing and government surveillance have further amplified the severity of this problem. The so-called Library 2.0 model, which is rooted in the discussion of Web 2.0, further disrupts traditional library practices in regards to the use of PII. Where once many libraries used electronic information sparingly and discarded it as soon as possible, some libraries are now making increasing use of metrics and user activity to tailor services and increase engagement. However, the challenge for these libraries is how to do so without compromising privacy. As a result, most libraries use authentication or user login and password to protect patron privacy when users are interfacing with a library website or an online public access catalog or other electronic services and resources. However, the authentication process itself creates privacy and security dilemmas. Authentication must be encrypted in order to maintain confidentiality, since users are transmitting personally identifiable information or unique identifiers that can be used to access that information. The most common way of protecting authentication is through HTTPS, which is essentially a form of HTTP that is layered over encryption with SSL or TLS. HTTPS is an effective defense against network attacks that compromise confidentiality. And in the past, many websites used HTTPS to protect sensitive transactions like the user login screen or an e-commerce transaction. And while this was a generally accepted practice, research over the past 5 years indicates that it leaves users vulnerable to network attacks that compromise privacy. Many of these attacks exploit holes or gaps in HTTPS implementation. And today, the recommended security best practice is to implement HTTPS pervasively. What this means for libraries is delivering the entire website, or OPAC, or other web application over HTTPS, while avoiding mixed content, which occurs when some of the content on a page is encrypted and other content, such as a video from a third-party website, is not. There are technical details such as the encryption key length and protocol supported that are also extremely important and often overlooked. Cookies are another area of significant concern. Most websites use session cookies to create a stateful user session. These session cookies include a unique identifier that must be secured in order to prevent an attacker from exploiting vulnerabilities in HTTPS and gaining access to a user's account without even knowing their password. There are also stronger controls like HSTS and Extended Validation SSL certificates that can further enhance security. There have been few, if any, evaluatory studies done on HTTPS implementation in the LIS literature. However, there are a number of fast, free, and easy-to-use tools on the internet for evaluating HTTPS usage. One such tool is the automated SSL server test from Qualys SSL Labs, which allows users to enter a domain name and then receive a report of the security posture for that domain. Another method is to use heuristics to conduct a manual evaluation. And the Electronic Frontier Foundation's HTTPS Now project does just that, with a set of heuristics that users can use to test HTTPS implementation. To test the effectiveness of these tools and to demonstrate the need to evaluate library web application security, the researcher visited the Sunnyvale Public Library's website and OPAC and tested these web applications with the Qualys tool and HTTPS Now heuristics. Results of the Qualys scan indicate that the library's domain accepts SSL2, which is insecure and obsolete. This is one of many technical vulnerabilities that were uncovered during the automated scan, which took under 5 minutes. The researcher also performed a heuristic evaluation using the tools for the heuristics from HTTPS Now, revealing several areas of the site and the OPAC that deliver pages with personally identifiable information over HTTP, even when users are logged in. This represents a significant risk to patron privacy because of the ease with which it can be exploited. Here we see examples from the results of the Qualys SSL test. On the left is an aggregate score of A through F that is generated based on details in particular areas, such as on the right, where we see protocol details. Each site receives an aggregate grade along with details about cipher suites, key length, certificate chains, protocols, and other information. Heuristic evaluation of the library's catalog reveals inconsistent application of HTTPS. When authenticated users make requests to the catalog, the page is sometimes delivered over HTTPS in an encrypted form, and other times it is not. The effect appears to be random. The results of this evaluation should be a clarion call for libraries to place a stronger focus on network security, not just system security. HTTPS is an effective network security control if implemented correctly and pervasively. However, evidence suggests that not all library websites have done so. Certainly, librarians and libraries cannot be expected to become security experts. However, libraries can and should take advantage of free tools like these to evaluate HTTPS implementation on their own websites and to communicate the results of their evaluations with technical implementers who do understand the specifics of security and can work with librarians to uphold the principles of both privacy and security in the library environment. Thank you very much.